Technical difficulties, man. If we could edit it, but that's the beauty of live, right? It's like it doesn't matter. Yo, what up? So now you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh my God! But this is the beauty of it, right? Like we learn. So I'm gonna shout out, kick it off again. You can hear me now? Okay, so I'm gonna kick it off again. Pay respects to the traditional owners of the land, the Gadigal people, and pay respects to the leaders past, present, and future. All right, so I want to kick it off right. But all right, so I got my man again.
They can hear us now.
Yeah.
All right.
Beast mode. Usually that's your job, right?
No.
I don't know.
Pew. That's I got that one,
Bro, I want to. The whole thing, like, just so you know, right? So the whole reason why I wanted to do. First of all, bro, this is for you.
Free gear.
Yeah.
So
I need you to promote me as much as we
the
promote
Godzilla podcast.
Yeah, the backprint's sort of dope.
Monro.
Yeah,
look
like
at this.
look at that. It's fat.
Yeah.
Repping. All right.
Look at that. Can you see
Yeah, baby. Stay warm.
Jesus.
COVID free, guaranteed.
Look at that. Okay.
Anyway,
I like it. It's good.
I wanted to give people like yourself, bro, like massive opportunity, just because one thing I noticed over the couple of years, man, is that what. We've been doing it for a little minute. We've been doing it. A minute?
A lot of minutes.
A lot of fucking minutes, bro. And I think that like a lot of the time there's people like yourself that have been in the game and actually been doing crazy shit that people just fucking either don't know or quite frankly they don't give a fuck about, which is cool as well.
I have the wrong kind of titties.
We were just talking about this, man.
If I had the other titties.
If you had the other titties.
And I was the other way around.
Then, man, maybe you would be international.
Man, I'd be killing it.
And then you'd be Beyonce and I'd be Jay-Z. I have the Jay-Z titties. Jay-Z has titties. Anyway, listen. Man, I want to ask about one of these, right? Because, man, people don't know, right? So, DMC champ. Right?
Yeah, DMC champ.
DMC champ. ITF scratch champ.
Yep.
Of Australia, mind you. Not just.
This is of Australia, yeah.
This is of Australia. This isn't just like fucking like of Blacktown. Right. This is.
But man, if I had that Blacktown title, shit.
That's the title. So he's putting it out there, right? So like he's got him for that Blacktown title.
I'd
but
be one for his DJ.
But no, shout out to Capital Z Zerish. Like he's got it locked.
He's Blacktown champion. See,
he's the
I
Blacktown
didn't get it.
champion.
I got Australian champions.
But listen,
couldn't get it.
Man, like the credentials: Australian Threestyle champion,
2-time, yeah.
All right, sorry, but yeah, true.
Jesus, man,
then,
come on, man.
But Red Bull
like
Threestyle world finalist, and like I followed your journey on that. We'll talk about that a bit more.
Yeah.
Fucking gold mixtape selling with the Blazing series.
Platinum.
Yeah, but isn't that in Australia like 20 copies?
Remember when gold and platinum was actually actually a thing?
It's
a good number,
straight up,
like a proper number, not
tens of or hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
And then like the other award that I give you is you're always fucking smiling in pictures award winning.
Yeah,
because you're probably one of the only DJs that isn't staunch in every single photo. So I got to give you props for that. But man, like
you missed the title, bro. Come on,
Goldie Award.
That's the one.
World Vice Champion.
Yeah, second in the world.
Okay, so what's the Goldies though? Like, because I'm not 100%.
Okay, so you've got. So imagine like Threestyle, Red Bull Threestyle would be like the Olympics.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Olympics. And I came third in the world for that.
Yeah.
And then Goldies would be kind of like your World Cup.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's Olympics and then like the just the international one, not as big.
Thing, or like the Winter Olympics. You know what I mean? So,
hey,
and then you'd have
that's shame on the Winter Olympians. Do you remember that guy that won that gold medal because everyone stacked it? Anyway, I'll sidetrack. But anyway.
And then and the DMCs would be like your World Cup or your Commonwealth Games or whatever it is. they're all like major things.
They are fucking major things.
Yeah.
And this is a reason why I want to talk to you, G. Because like, to be really honest, bro, like I've known you for a fucking hot minute, but you know, over the years, and like even to myself, I was talking to Eski and that before, right? And the thing is, for me, is like, because we've been doing it for a while, we sort of start to take people like for granted in the scene a bit.
Yeah, I feel like it's always been expected of me. So when I put something out, people are just like, yeah.
Another one.
That's another crazy thing. And I feel like, which is a good thing, because if you can build up the ones that are trying to do it, then it'll get them to a point to keep doing it, rather than comparing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, but he does it better.
Yeah. You're trying to inspire the next.
It's like you're trying to inspire. Yeah, I got to that point where I was just like, well, if what I do inspires people, then cool.
Yeah.
And now I've got that.
Yeah.
So that's a goal.
Yes, you do. I'm thinking of becoming a DJ.
That's a goal in itself. Like, so there's like people doing my routines now.
Yeah, bro.
And doing videos. It's like, which is cool, because it's like, they could have did anyone else's stuff.
Fucking I saw a hilarious one on your story the other day, bro, when you were like, when someone tries like the fucking
juggle.
They
were trying to.
And then you did it after. I showed my girl. I was like, Mackenzie, check this out. And I was like, yo, check. And I was like, look, so this is a guy trying. And then here's Samurai. She's like, oh shit.
But it's cool. I like that. I like the fact that I did something that inspired someone to go, I'm going to try this today. And I'm going to film this today. Yep. And it's cool. And then I, shout you out. It's a cool little thing.
No, bro, it is. And it's hectic, and it's good for progression. And I think that re-progression of a scene that's a bit dead. But I'm going to go into a bit of that like later as well, because I've got a bit of a structure, believe it or not. Yeah. I know that I'm a wild motherfucker, but I'm gonna ask you first, like, because I know you. What?
About as structured as you're here.
Yeah, baby.
All right, let's go.
Shout out to Mr. Pinks at Castle Hill. I couldn't get to my boy San because I have no car and COVID's crazy, so trying to look fresh. Okay, okay, so I know you like from the hip hop scene, right?
Yeah.
But prior to that, like, dude, because I don't really know you growing up. Where'd you go to school? Like, what area, like in Sydney, so did you grow up?
Well, I knew you before you knew me. Oh, sorry. I knew you before you knew me. You used to rap with that little girl,
Kimmy,
the Asian girl. Yeah. Yep. Shout out to Kimmy and the tall African dude.
Oh no, Anthony. Did he have dreads?
I think he had the dreads.
Yeah, true.
And I didn't even like.
It's bad style time, bro.
Yeah, I saw a photo
of that the other day. I looked
that.
like a dickhead.
Yeah. So but I grew up in a West Ride.
Yeah.
So
but around that area, bro, like.
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing around that area.
It really was, but like I think that it was a weird area because it was sort of rough.
It was kind of rough
at that time.
Yeah, at that time. When I was in there, you had. It was weird. It was a weird time. That's when like 5T Gang was in there. Then 108 Dragons were in there, and they were all coming in. And then you had. Yeah. I don't know, there was another gang, and there was another gang, and I didn't really
mix in it.
I didn't really mix in it. Like I knew all of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just kind of
cool with everyone.
I was just cool with I'm always cool with everyone.
Yeah, bro.
It's always been my thing.
It's the only way to survive.
Well, yeah. And then I just like, all right, cool, but it wasn't. No, it was cool. You had different ethnicities mixing with others, and the music was all there, and so I kind of like hovered in this space. You know what I mean?
So and you got down with everyone, but you weren't like truly down with everyone. Like
I wasn't really down, and then I started rapping. That was the thing. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait. So what was your rap name? Big Kid?
No. I didn't have no. I can't remember, but used to be me and this guy Bubba and Dave.
Oh shit, Bubba!
Yeah.
I know Bubba.
Asian Bubba. Yeah.
Bro, did you hit up the Crush?
Yeah, we used to
Bro,
rap.
Bubba used to be in the fucking Crush events as well. Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I used to rap with them. And
What's
then,
happened to Bubba? Where's he at? Is he still around?
He's still around. He went in and then came out.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
Man, he was up to mischief back then. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
that area was a weird one. Like,
It was a weird
It was a
area.
bit of a like. Yeah, no one ever goes in. There's nothing fucking there. Then why the fuck are people up to trouble there?
yeah,
You know.
it was weird. And then so we had like this little rap group thing, and we had this gig, and then they were like, "Oh no, we need a DJ." And then Dave and Bob was like, why don't you DJ? And I was like, all right, I'll give it a go.
But did you take that as a slight diss? Like,
It was kind
you're like, what? My bars aren't fire enough for you, motherfucker.
Maybe you should.
Yo, you need to be in the back.
Maybe rapping isn't for you. So
Fuck, bro. If this is the story to why you became so fucking elevated as a DJ, you
crazy, right?
You heard it here first. Be like, yo, I can't be a DJ. I'm a DJ. You can't be an MC. I'm a DJ the fuck out of you.
So yeah, I was.
It's crazy.
I could have went. So shout outs to them, I guess, because they put me
Bro,
on.
shout out to Bubba. Where the fuck is Bubba at?
Yeah,
Man? Like,
it was Bubba and all them. They would like put me in that position. Then we were in the garage, and I got DJ set up and.
can I ask you that question then, right? Because
Crazy.
straight up in Bankstown, do you know the only reason I really rap is because I couldn't afford a fucking turntable. I couldn't afford a like, you know, like it just wasn't like really an investment because back then, like you'd probably have to jack your parents' shit or like have like find a fucking shitty mixer, like because you had to be pretty like, you know, like
so what it was is my older brother had equipment.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be a DJ, and I'd sneak into his bedroom when he was like off at like uni and shit, and I would like sneak in his room and I'd just jam out, and then I would try and remember how I left everything, because if I left one thing, right, he knew straight away. He beat the shit out of me. Like, yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
So every time he used to come home, I used to hide him.
Fader was to the right.
Yeah.
Really?
I had to like, I would write down like, okay, so he's got the volume at this. He had this record on, and he had this record on the left. Okay, the faders were up this much. Okay. And then like, so when I'd finish, I'd be like, okay, I got to put all that. And then I would like hide in my room when he came home.
Just in case he found out.
And wait. And if the music turned on, I was like, I'm in the clear.
Oh, shit.
But sometimes it'd like...
Hey, you want to know something fucking funny, man? Speaking of which, what you're going to laugh at is I got a question from your better-looking older brother. Is how I All right,
yeah, he doesn't know that.
He said, what are you getting your mum... He said, what are you getting your mum for Mother's Day? So I know he's going to be watching. But yeah, what are you getting your mum for Mother's Day? I better answer that. Get him to answer that real quick. What are you getting mum for Mother's Day? Be real.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What if mum's watching?
Mum's probably watching. She watches everything.
Okay, mum, we're not spoiling the surprise. I think he was trying to set you up there, so don't even worry. Don't even worry about that. But yo,
yeah.
What's your background, G?
Italian.
Italian and what? Nothing else. That's it.
We got like mixed Lebanese as well.
True.
So it's 1 part Leb, 3 parts Italian.
Okay. So you can still walk in green it's all G's. Shout out to Lakemba. All right. My jumper is Wilden. It's a distinct color. Shout out to Champion. If you want to sponsor the show, we feel you.
It's
you
pink.
Want a Champion? Yeah, it's pink. I'm cool with that. I'm confident in my sexuality sometimes.
It's pretty.
It's got to match my face. Nah, jokes. But so tell me about this, right? So you're DJing with Bubba.
Yeah.
Were you Samurai then?
I was Samurai then, yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. No, I wasn't. So then I had No Name, and then Dave
Pacheco.
Bubba. No, this is Dave, the other rapper guy.
Rapper, yeah.
Dave and Bubba knew Motto, DJ Motto. So they somehow knew him. I don't know, from the scene.
Ghetto famous fucking.
Yeah. So and
shout
Motto,
out to DJ Motto, bro.
DJ Motto back then was
the man,
the guy. You know what I mean? Like him and Nino were the guys. So,
bro, I got a story out. Nino. Yeah.
That's
actually Nino. It's actually literally my first ever demo was recorded with Nino Brown.
Nino,
he's
okay.
fucking. So he's the OG. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So those two.
Yep.
Were the man. So Bubba and Dave would like come to Anthem Records.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get like records for you to scratch, and
like
Motto will show you some stuff. I was like, all right, cool. And then I went there, and Motto just showed me some basic stuff. I'd never touched it.
Was this Anthem in the Lane?
Anthem in the Lane.
Bro, that was the setup.
Yeah.
That was
a
the
lot of people
fucking
don't remember
spot,
that
right?
one. That was the spot.
Like it was so good as well. The layout, like you could roll in, bro. Like, and it was the only real I don't know, full hip hop joint.
It was a proper record store, and it was like, bro. There was others. You had Central Station and that, but man, Anthem Records was the shit.
Murder was the king.
Yeah, Murder was
Peter
the
Guns
king.
was right there as well.
Joe Sitoa, who owned the place.
Oh shit, Joe! I was scared shitless of Joe, man.
Everyone was scared of Joe.
Joe would you steal my shit?
So I went there and I met Motto and
Tickles.
He showed me. Tickles wasn't around then.
He was later, eh?
It was just Motto.
Yeah.
And I remember Peter Guns was kind of hovering around the store.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to meet him. And then the next day I came back after Motto showed me some things. And then I did some stuff and he was like, what I showed you yesterday was like your first time scratching? I was like, yeah. He goes, but what? How are you doing it like better than what I showed you yesterday? I was like, I don't know. I just
like that.
Yeah, and that's when I realized, I'm okay. I've got this. Like and what I was doing was, I would see something, or I'd hear something like a scratch, and I would go home. I'd practice. I'd get it down.
Yeah.
And then I would go, okay, how do I make it better?
Yeah.
How do I advance it? So the next day I would level up.
Was there like anything, because the only other thing that's sort of crazy, right, is that was there much like reference for you to be like, yo, because like, you know, in terms of like scratching, you know what I mean? That really back then, from my eyes, being an MC, but it was more like, you know, there wasn't heaps of shit for you to watch.
No, there was...
You know, like there's not really much cassettes going around, or like, you know, we didn't have YouTube and shit.
No, we had no YouTube, no tutorials, no nothing. It was... I would literally watch DMC videos. You know
VHS.
I mean? You'd have to order those. So
Straight up.
You wouldn't get them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they would film it and then you'd have to wait for them to put on tape. It would be like a movie. Like remember when you used to
you made fucking 12
hire
months.
movies and you'd wait for it to come out. You'd be like, yeah, man, what the hell? You wait 6 months to get a DMC video. Like, okay. And then I would sit there and just rewind the tape and just keep going over people's routines. I'd go over people's routines so much so on the tape that it would burn the tape.
Oh, at that time?
At that specific time?
Yeah.
So you're like a record where a record like crackles because you scratch it so much, or a cassette tape will crackle when you've used it too much. I had the video would like start fuzzing out.
Oh shit! So you're like trying to catch the routine, like oh shit.
I keep rewinding. I want that part. I want that part, and So I'd be going through tapes.
And so when you took that back to Motto, and he was like, yo, so like he obviously saw that you.
He saw I had potential. Yeah.
So from there, like, where did you start? Because this is sort of like one of my like questions, right? So like. Who were your first big connect? Because it's Motto, about who you know as well, right? Like so.
So then what had happened was, we did that show and Peter Guns was DJing at that show. So Peter Guns was like DJ Motto's apprentice at that time. Well, they were like
fucking little samurais over here, like.
And then I was not really in there. I was in there just kind of buying records now.
Yep.
And like they'd see me at that show with them. It was nothing.
Yeah.
And, you know, Pete was real nice. Pete's the nicest guy.
Fucking earth, nicest
Like
guy.
nicest
Shout out to Peter
DJ
Guns.
ever.
Yeah.
And then what had happened was I just kept rocking up to the shop.
Yeah.
And then Joe was like, why don't you just stay here and you intern, like you do shit, and then you watch and then you learn and talk to these. He's like, talk to these guys. You stay here, you clean the shop. And I was like, so every day I'd go. Like I'd be there first thing in the morning. I get Motto his coffee. I get Peter Guns his coffee. I get Joe's coffee. I'd go buy their lunch. Again, like I'd go do. I was the shit kicker. I was vacuuming.
But this is the dopest shit, bro. Like for
Yeah.
you to be doing that and then you're on this world level, like.
Yeah, man. I was vacuuming Anthem Records.
Yo,
I was
that's
putting
crazy.
CDs away, and that's when Tickles and your demos came in with their CDs. Like I knew about Tickles and Demo and like Nino Brown through putting their CDs in the shelf. Like I'd open the boxes and I'd be like, okay, who's this? All right, cool. I was stacking the shelves, vacuuming, and like that's why it's for those dudes like Pete and Motto and those guys. They're gonna be like, yeah, man, he used to go get out lunch and like,
Yeah. They had to pull
coffee in the
that
morning.
card.
Like,
Hi,
guys,
little
I'm gonna-
samurai. How are you today? Or hi,
Guys,
little
what do you
beast
want
mode.
this morning? You want coffee? Give me the money. And then it got to a point where, because I was in there, I would then jump on and like scratch and
Cut it
stuff,
up.
you know.
Hmm.
And then what was happening is I was getting really good, and then DJs would come in, and I would be there vacuuming, and DJs would come in trying to prove themselves.
Yeah.
I had a good story about your boy Echo. So,
Shout out to DJ Echo, Blacktown's finest.
So-
Or does he have the Blacktown title?
so he was being managed by Jamie,
Jamie
Cat,
Shorty.
Shorty DJ
Yeah.
Shorty,
Yep.
and then
Fucking Shorty. Where's he at?
so Shorty came in and brought Echo,
Yeah.
and they were like, yeah, you know, Echo's the man. He's gonna kill everybody. He's gonna do it. And I'm vacuuming, and Joe's like, okay, okay, whatever. And then so they put Echo on, and he was doing his thing, and Motto's,
And you know, props to Echo. Like,
yeah,
he
props
knows what
to
he's
Echo. He's a
doing.
cool dude.
Yeah.
And then I was just doing my thing, and then I remember I was putting records, and I was watching, I was listening. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was putting the thing, and then Joe just goes, "Hey, Sam, kick him up. Get on, do the thing, do the." I was like, okay, cool. And then I remember Shorty was like, who
Like, who fucks this guy? He's stacked the
the fuck is
shelves.
this guy?
Get
Yeah.
this guy to.
And
yeah.
I just came on and just rinsed. And then it was like, I was
Hey,
like,
man.
sorry, man. But me and Echo then became mad cool. Like,
Yeah.
because he was like now another guy that was into it. And I was like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
so you shared the
Now
interests
I
and
got
shit.
some, got some dudes. And then,
Yep.
and then I remember like DMCs kind of came up.
Because back then, right, like, not every, like, Nino wasn't, like, okay, so this is the other thing a lot of people don't realize as well, is because it was, I don't want to say a massive, like, it's not a segregation, I wouldn't say, right? But, like, Nino Brown as an example, and I know this for a fucking fact, because
Yeah.
Nino would say the same shit to me. He was the club DJ, Carl Alley's,
It was,
the
yeah.
Cool Hand Luke's.
Yeah.
They weren't tech DJs
No.
per se. It's not that they didn't want to be or they didn't have mad respect for it, like, you know what I mean? But they were really there to spin.
That's where DJing was. DJing was just DJing.
Yeah.
And when Nino and Motto kind of came in, they brought that different element.
Yep.
You know, they had the technical skills.
They did,
they're
yeah.
doing
Because I can't say they
they're
weren't.
doing.
I can't say even just like on the outside of DJ shit, looking in, they had mad respect for it, but they couldn't like blow it out. like fucking you do, for example.
No, but back then,
Yeah.
that was considered
Tech.
mad tech, because I'd watch them both at a club. This is after I'd met Nino and I was like starting to go to clubs.
Yeah.
Because I was still young back then. But when I started going to clubs and I saw Nino play and I saw Motto actually play, I was like, oh, yo, man, they're doing some things. And then the other DJs would get on. You'd be like,
well, this is why these guys aren't the main
it's
set.
just a DJ.
That's why this guy's doing 3 to 4.
Doing some stuff. And like, Nino was emceeing and Motto was, doing his mad remix edits and things. And they were really going in.
Fucking.
And that's when I realized, in order for me to come in, because I learned my lesson in DJing real early, because I was with now 2 of the biggest dudes.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like I was with 2 of the biggest dudes. Yeah, for club stuff.
Straight up.
I had Motto there. I had Nino now, because I was like, me and Nino met at DMCs, and he was competing, and it was my first year at DMCs, and he came second and I came third, and then from there we started kicking it. And then I looked at Nino like, man, this guy knows the business. Like anyone who knows Nino,
anyone that knows Nino knows that Nino knows the business.
Yeah, Nino is just,
bro.
He's calculated.
He's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
He's a businessman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He calculated, but he comes from that era of, when Nino would have been kind of in there, that's when that whole like John Ibrahim and all those dudes were
money was around
running, and you had to play a certain way. Because I came in after that.
Yeah.
But they would have been hovering around that time, so he had to maneuver in a certain way. You couldn't. You had to be a business in a way.
Straight up.
So he kind of, he was real calculated, which was dope, which I found.
But that would have been a good skill set as well. To so like, even though if it's not nature, like just because like, man, yeah, you're right. Like there's elements of what Nino does that you sort of, you'd be like, yo, like fuck props. Like you're making what you love your fucking business.
Yeah. So he's really on that. I believe there's 2 types of DJs. Realistically, the majority of the ones that live up here and the ones that live in here.
Yeah. Okay.
And I found like Nino is more towards, he's a thinker. He's in the head.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's more in the brain, where you had like Motto was more the heart. You know what I mean? Like he was a DJ, and it seemed like the business side was a bit,
full on. Yeah.
And then I got lucky and linked up with DJ Bones. So now I had like,
and he was in the scene, bro. So he had the shit with Hijack Torch.
So for people who don't know DJ Bones, he's the turntablist
100%.
Of Australia. That's
shout out to DJ Bones.
100%. Like I seen him on SBS one morning. This was before I even was a DJ, before anything. I was like 16 or something, and he was on SBS scratching, and he had a whole bunch of girls around him, and I thought, what's with the girls? I don't get
I love the scratching, but what's with the girls?
Like he started scratching, and the girls and some people came out, and they were like cheering, and he was just sitting there scratching. I was like, yeah, okay, this is something. But then me and Bones kicked it off, and then he ended up living like 5 minutes from my place.
True.
So now I had like Nina. Sounds like I had like this plan. Like
no.
I got all the pieces.
Like the pieces all sort of fell to
but
you.
But this is how I
weird.
became where I am, because now I've got Nino, who's a brain thinking DJ, calculate business and creative. Still creative. Yeah. Motto, creative, club, and he just has that element in the club scene, and music wise and music selection. He had that, and then I had Bones, mad, super technical battle. I'm gonna kill everybody thing. So now I'm like hovering. I'm
Bro,
like swaying.
It's crazy hearing this though, because like, and this is exactly why I wanted to talk to you, because like, we all know you as you, and I was gonna actually sort of say this as well, like, because you're a unique like character, but you also really got your own style. So, but like for me, because I don't really know your associates.
Yeah.
Because for me, really, how I saw you on the scene is like when I was doing the whole MC thing, and you know, we're all getting our reps at that time, and you were on the scene. But for me, like I remember, like you were like, people were talking about you, like, yo, this kid's on, like he's on the up, right?
Yeah.
And then when you won, everyone sort of was like, fuck, it was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was eventually going to happen, I think.
People sort of knew, but now to hear where those influences are in terms of like Nino, you know, Motto, and then Bones.
Yeah, and Bones.
That's crazy.
Steve says Bones had some sick DJ sample vinyls as well.
Oh, man, his vinyls are crazy.
Sample vinyls, Bones?
Bones is, I consider, one of the greatest turntablists.
Oh, true, Steve.
Like, he's the only one. He made an entire song out of samples, scratching samples, like a rapper. Like, it's like...
Oh, shit. No, I think I know what you're
saying. He went and grabbed every single word, like what I just said now, every single word like what I just said now. He got every word and scratched every word and wrote a whole love song about his wife and made it... Three verses.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it has a chorus, verse, hooks. It's an entire scratch song that sounds like someone was rapping, but it's...
Yo, can this song be found anywhere?
Yeah, it's on iTunes. It's called Number One.
All right, so shout out.
If you search DJ Bones...
Let's get a link. DJ Bones Number One. We've got to find that. Because I want to listen to that.
It's the greatest...
And for you, you saw that and you were like...
Yeah, even to this day, that is still... No DJ has ever done that. And so if we're talking about me not being praised as I should, if you're saying...
Yeah.
You got to think about him.
Bro, no doubt. Like I'm not even... Like you say Bones and I feel bad because I'm like, yo, like... I think the last time I even thought about Bones was just because I saw that Hijack and Torture.
Hijack and Torture, that's another thing. Yeah.
Fuck, remember the cover? It was like orange and Bones in the middle.
Yeah.
And I remember Bones being on that and be like, and I saw that, I was like, oh shit, that's a fucking throwback, man. I gotta get dig that up and listen to it. But then I was like, fuck, I wonder what happened to Bones.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bones is there's people that keep to themselves.
Recluse,
recluse.
Oh, like introvert.
Introvert, yeah. Create like.
Yeah, he was never like the loudest dude.
Nah.
He was cool with fucking everyone.
Quite cool with everyone, but when he was on, he was an animal.
Fuck, man.
And you couldn't touch him. No one could touch him. And it's just, it's just one of those things. So I kind of became the monster child of all these three.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And
now.
it just, so then, it's not like I just woke up one day and became what I am.
I don't know, man. You make it look like that. I'm just gonna be fucking real.
I had like
all the way real with you.
I had a lot of guys like helping me along the way, So
we're gonna ask you like as well, right? Because the one thing I notice about your sets is that they're still like they're very musical. Like, and I think that's one thing that never really I got engaged with a lot of scratch sets and juggles and stuff because I almost felt like they were trying to be musical. Yeah. But they couldn't. They were almost like, and you know how you use the mind thing. Like I felt like they'd always they'd always overthink the tech, so then they lost music out of it.
Yeah, that I went through that.
Well, I don't know. I see you and speaking about more now, right? And more particularly if I was to say like. The last 5-6 years for you? Well,
yeah, it really. I learned how to DJ properly. I guess it took me a good 5 years. Mind you, I'm national champion. Like, I'm the
Can I
best.
just reiterate?
Let me just
Fuck it,
clear
I'm
that
having
up.
Doritos,
Like,
yeah. Wait, do you want red or yellow?
I'm still, no, I'm gonna, this one.
Well, there's more here.
Yeah, I want the lollies.
Hit that up, baby.
So mind you, I'm like still national champion of everything, but my DJing, not still a good DJ, but what it is because I was who I was, I felt I had to really go in, because then what's the point? Like, people are expecting me to go in, and it wasn't.
We really were.
Yeah. I remember like the third year of really being involved. From when I touched the turntable, so 3 years later, I was DJing, and it wasn't until a promoter, I was being managed at that time, and the promoter told the manager, he was like, look, he's great, but you need to tell him to calm down,
Calm
man.
down, let's scratch.
And then when my manager's like, yeah, like what you're doing is not wrong, but you don't have to do so much. You're still going to get the same result at the end of the set if you do less and just hit them with a few things. You know, I was like, all right, cool. And then I started kind of implementing that. And I started pulling back a bit more, and that's when I found like the musical way. I was like, I don't have to scratch, I don't have to juggle. I can musically find ways to travel through my set. You know,
But it fucking stands out to me. Like, I watch it, and like I can like get down to your shit, but then I watch somebody else's set, and bro, this is because I watch some of your global comps. I watch some of your, even just the shit you put up on your Insta,
Yeah.
whatever. Just, you know, it's just that's what you're up to, and I'll go, far, like even on the international stage. No wonder like you're in that pocket, because like even the crowds, like, they're fucking like going along with your set,
Yeah.
and then you'll see someone else's set who's like, you know, in the comp, and you know, like, you can appreciate the tech, but you're not really getting down with it.
Yeah, it's a.
And is that something? Sorry to interrupt, but like, is that something as well? Like on a international level, is musicality an aspect of like those like tech comps? Is it like?
Yeah, musicality plays a major role in the comps.
Yeah.
But even at that, it's a weird thing, because I experience it where I'll watch the DJ, you know, before me that's playing at a club, and I'll watch them for a bit after me, and they'll play the same thing I play, but they just don't. It just doesn't. It doesn't hit.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Is it in the wrong part of the set? Is it like? Is it depends what it follows?
Yeah.
Or?
I just kind of. And then I sit there and go, oh, I wouldn't have went that way. I wouldn't have went that way. I would have went. They should have went like this, and they should read. Like, I feel like DJing then became lost, where it was the DJs just playing whatever, playing the hits. I'm just going to play the hits. I'm going to play the songs to get that, you know, that spike in reaction. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, this is my song. Oh, this is my song. But it was never. When I watch DJs play, especially in Australia, people don't respond for the DJ. They respond for the song.
100 fuck yeah.
Which is kind of normal.
No. Yeah.
But for a DJ, when I came up,
yeah.
when I was watching Nino and Monro, I'd be like, yo, they just did. Like,
Yeah.
Monro did this thing. Like, I like that song, but he made it better by doing this.
Man, I'll give you like. It was the timing. It was what you surrounded it with. It's how the dynamic. Because bro, I still remember Cool Hand Luke, like dropping shit. And back then, like, you guys would play shit that they'd have to come up and be like, "Yo," not like play this. It would be like, "Yo, what the fuck did you just play?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it might have been a dope remix, or like, man, there's like, whatever happened to like the B-sides of fucking tracks.
The B-sides of tracks, and then but even the setup. Like the setup of a song, like I remember watching Nino, and he'd be on the mic, and then he was playing the song, and the people just doing their thing, and he'd just stop it, and then he'd have the record, he'd just go, and he was like, cash rules everything around me, cream. And he'd play the song. I'd be like, yo, what the? But that song's dope on his. He could have just played Wu-Tang. He could have played Cream. He could have just played it, but it made it that much more. So when I looked at like, okay, I need to present music in a way where it gets this reaction. And when I started doing flips, like a couple of years ago, I look for the. I'll do flips that people, they'll be dancing and then they'll stop.
Just for a second, eh?
They'll stop for a second, like, what are you doing? Like, why is this just an acapella now? Yeah. And that split second is when I drop something in and they're like, oh
shit. Yeah.
It's that build. The
art,
it's that cooking, man. Like, I love cooking. Like, and I watch them. I watch them looking at me like, they give me those faces. What is this? What is this? And that moment when I switch it on them, the whole world changes.
Fucking oath, man. Tell me this, right? Because this just sort of came into my head. Because it was a weird time for everyone. I'm not going to lie. I got out of like MCing. You can remember like a club MC'd for a little minute.
Yeah.
And so I stepped out, but then I stepped back in. Wait.
I remember that.
Fucking LMFAO were out. And like Usher was like, everything was like fast. And then
that was house music days, yeah.
Oh, and then Hardstyles was like coming back so hard. And like, I did not understand what, bro, I'll tell you a little story. I went to Cabramatta one time for under 18s with Pat.
Yeah.
Right? He promoted it. Yeah. And I went out there. I grew up in like Sefton. So like Cabramatta like was just down the road.
That's down the road.
Right? So you'd go out there back in the day and it'd be like souped up cars. Everyone was in their baggy shit playing, I don't know, the fucking most dancey or like up tempo shit would have been like Ghost Town DJs.
Oh, back then?
Like I'm talking about, but everything was baggy. But then
microfiber pants?
Yes. Right?
And then shirts.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
But then you fast forward and we did this under 18s and Sifu played. Right, because me and Sifu were right. So we're playing, and Sifu's he's trying his hardest to play shit that these kids like, right? And he's playing all this up tempo like R&B shit, and they don't give a fuck. They're just looking at us like whatever. And then some little kid who I'd never seen before, this guy would like young little Asian dude, just comes up and it just drops all this fucking hard style shit, and all these kids come out in these matching G-Star fucking uniforms, straight hooligan eps. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is going on, right? Yeah. So like as a DJ, because you were still active, like how the
I was active, I seen that.
Yeah, like because one thing I saw.
You know who that little Asian guy was? DJ Mike Hyper.
No, it wasn't. No! Bro, shout out to Mike Hyper.
Shout out to Mike Hyper. It wasn't Mike. You know it was Mike. You know it was Mike. He came in.
It wasn't Mike Hyper. I swear to God. It was Robico. No. It was some kid. I still don't know because he was actually a hardstyles DJ.
Yeah.
Anyway, like for you as a DJ, like what the fuck were you doing at that time? Like because it was just bizarre. I swear to God, Sifu had... And like, you know, I guess this is a bit... And I want to ask you something about this fucking freestyle. Okay, can you just remind me the cunt that taped... the pre-recorded this Threestyle set? So we'll talk about that later, yeah.
But I thought you were going to talk about Sifu rapping.
Shout out to Sifu, man. He's an OG. Yeah. But no, Sifu had like pretty much, for the most part, the same set.
Yeah,
he had premixes in there and stuff like that he you know sort of fiddled with himself, but like the creativity aspect, like I sort of saw, or like the live, like read the crowd sort of vibe, like he pretty much knew how, like his set was going to go the same wave.
Sifu could read a crowd.
Oh, he definitely could, but I just felt as though like at that time, like man, he almost had a set. Almost, and I won't say he did, but he'd almost have the same set.
A lot of guys go through that stage in DJing where they get complacent with that same set because they know it works.
Yeah, well, bro, we shut the fucking club down every week. Do not get me wrong, but I look at it from the DJ perspective, and like,
Yeah.
do you feel at that time you're like, I can imagine like creatively, how inspiring is that to go through like that minute as a DJ?
With the house stuff that was coming out. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I said real early is because I learned this lesson really early as a DJ. I was going to so NASA T had a record store called Mint Condition out at Marrickville, right?
Yes.
And I remember it was like him and a few other like older cats, DJs that I'd seen at the clubs talking. And I was like flicking through records and I'm listening and I could and mind you, these DJs at the time, I think it was like George B and Leno and all these guys that were like these. They were having a conversation.
Super club vibes.
Yeah. And I remember it was that time where Nino, Motto, and Peter Guns were kind of pushing them out. Not in a bad way, but they were like the fresh guys coming in. Yep. And I remember listening to the conversation, and they were like, "Man, I don't want to play this new shit. This shit is rubbish, and we don't play this. We want to play what we play, and they're playing this and that." And I remember that conversation. I was just like, "Wow! Like you can't, as a DJ, you're gonna be squashed if you have this mentality of never growing with the music." And then I'm a very deep thinker. So I level everything. So for every thought I have, there's another 10 thoughts that come after it, different ways of switching around and going in different directions. And I thought, well, my parents won't like what I play. So what's going to happen when I'm older and I'm DJing? Am I not going to like what they like? But then at the same time, why doesn't my parents understand what I like? Because I like it. But they're not going to like it because they're going to like what they like. Hence why those old DJs only like what they like. They're not going to like what I like. But that means I'm going to get to a point where I'm like them. And
you don't want to be like that.
I don't want to be that guy. So I need to adapt to the music and figure out, well, why does that 15-year-old kid like this song? And I always kind of took in that. Like I always took it in. I was like, let me really listen to the music. And I love music. And I love all styles of music. You know what I mean? I have my things where I stay away from. You know, like I'm not in the country and western.
But you're right. Though, like versatility wise, like you are pretty across the board.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
I kind of settled into this open format DJing before it was called open format DJing.
I don't even know what the fuck it was. But yeah, I did read on your soapbox description that you are
open format. Yeah. So
what's open format? Because if I don't know, I'm sure someone else does that. So what's?
I can play anything I want.
So there's like.
I can drop anything I want at any point in time.
And no one says boo.
And
you're like, it's in the contract. It's in the contract, bitch. Yeah, open format.
I could play Little Uzi Vert into Elvis Presley. And flip it, and people would lose their minds. Not that I have done that. I might try that.
But let's try that.
But
I'm sure,
being
if anyone can do it, you can do it.
Is not being stuck. And I never wanted to be stuck. And that also came with being a resident at clubs. I never wanted to be a resident at clubs. I didn't want to be stuck in the same thing. I did that for a few years.
Where'd you resident?
I was at Cave. Friday and Saturday
Lani
nights.
Richmond?
Lani was Sundays. But Fridays was in-house and Saturdays was in-house. So I was working at the casino. My first gig, and Nino got me that gig. Nino hooked that up.
Businessman.
Yeah, Nino got me that. He was like, look, they're looking for a DJ. I've put your name through. We're going to go talk to him. I'm going to get you on. And I was the warm-up DJ. I would either open the club up or I'd end. So I'd do like 3 to 5 in the morning.
Were they bossing you as well? Like, yo, don't play the hits.
No, they were. I never got told what to play. We were just kind of playing R&B at the time. You know, it was.
Don't play Only You remix with Mace with Mace and Notorious B.I.G.
But yeah.
And fucking Fat Man Scoop. When is that cunt gonna like? Shout out to Fat Man
Oh
Scoop.
man,
like
Fat
that.
Man Scoop was still bumping back then.
Why he be faithful? Like, I'm fucking leaving.
I was DJing when I started DJing, Be Faithful just came out.
Bro.
So it was like
It's Beans still just came out.
they still playing like it's the hit. But yeah, I was at the cave every Friday, Saturday. That was like my home. And then I just kind of moved up in the ranks, so they just had me as a main guy in the end. So, and yeah, I was just running that spot. I was always there. So
Fucking cave, man.
but
We've hit an hour.
oh wow,
Fuck, we made it. All right.
that's
Have a
went-
lolly.
that's
Open that
went-
packet.
That went quick. But yeah,
You know what? It seems to go fucking quick when you're talking about dope shit. I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you. It was the same thing when I had Mez. Hey. Well, fuck them.
I have a really great story about me at the cave. I got a lot of great stories.
Here we can go,
But
baby. This is what it's for.
For the people that really know me, I tend to put myself in really stupid positions. And I don't mean to do it. I don't get along with a lot of people.
No, they don't get along with you.
They
bro.
don't get along with me. I don't know what
I've
it
always
is.
thought you were a sick cunt.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
But I'm a bit weird. I'm like a introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
It's weird. I was at the cave and I'm DJing. We used to DJ. I was in the booth.
Upstairs. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And you can only be up there if you're a DJ or VIP.
Yeah, that's right. I was a fucking. I only got up there one time. I
Yeah.
got kicked out.
And so I'm up there.
All good? Yeah, sick.
People like, yeah, the cave, that was the spot back in the day.
Bro,
That was
it
the
was the
spot.
spot. If you weren't going to the cave, bro, you
So
know what was going on.
I'm DJing. Behind me is my records. Back then we were using records. And I'm DJing and I look behind and there's this black guy, African American guy, black guy. I don't want to be.
You're getting awkward right now.
Yeah,
bro.
I know. You know, because if you say black, hey
Yeah,
man,
but-
you can't say black guy. Like,
But yeah.
He was black,
guy,
man.
Black guy there and you're like, all right,
there was
cool.
a guy there by himself. There was no one else in the VIP. It's a pretty quiet night. And he's just standing there behind my record just watching me. And I'm like, hey man, you can't be up here. And he's like,
Who the fuck was it?
and he's like, yeah man, it's all good. I was like, no man, who are you? Like, you can't be up here. You need to, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, of course.
No shit, I looked him straight in his face. I was like this far away because he was the same height. And I was like,
we're not the tallest.
the
man.
only thing that separated us was my records. I was like, yo, man, you can't fucking be up here, bro. And he's like, nah, man, it's all good. I was like, that's not all good. Like, who are you? He's like, I'm Roy Jones Jr. And I was like, oh, yeah, you are.
Sir, you can do whatever the fuck you
And
want.
then straight away it clicked. When he said that, I was like, oh, yeah, it is. Whoops. I was like, yeah, I'm going to bitch out right now.
What did you say?
No, but and then when he said, I'm Roy Jones Jr., I was like, oh,
my bad,
shit,
bro.
man, my bad, bro.
My bad, bro.
And he was
I
like,
gonna
no,
quickly
it's all
please-
good. And then I was like, yeah, get the fuck out.
He told you to get the
I know,
fuck out.
I did. I was like, that's cool, man, get the fuck out. But
I'm
then,
DJing, little man.
no, it was cool. And then I did that recently, too. I did it recently at Ivy. And I'm DJing, and this guy starts looking at my laptop. And I just kind of like push him off.
You brushed the cunt?
He's a big, tall dude, man. Big, tall black guy.
Here we go.
I'm like, yeah, man, you can't be touching on my lap. What
Who?
the fuck you doing? You
Yeah.
got to get slapped. He's like, oh, man, I just want to, have you got Roddy Rich? And I was like, just chill, man. You tell me what, like, you can
want.
make a request
Yeah.
and then get out. Like, because I was in the booth and he was just standing there. And then I'm DJing and he's like, he's still there and he's not getting the point. And at this point, I'm like, where's the security guard? Because I need to kick this guy. drag him the fuck. I
Yeah,
hate people in the booth.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those DJs. Like
The lurkers, bro. We all know the
hate
fucking
lurkers.
lurkers, bro. The lurkers would be like, they're looking at the girls in the crowd like, hey, you want a track? I know the DJ. You're like, bro, I don't know you. Get the fuck out of the booth.
Get out, man. I hate that shit. So he's not getting the point, and then he's like, I'm DJing, and then he keeps sticking his phone in my face, like, yo, man, look. And I'm looking at an Instagram profile, and I was like, yeah, man, I'll look for this artist. I'll see if I've got that artist. That's what I thought he was showing me. He was showing me his Instagram.
Who was it? Wait, you fucking got me in suspense.
So he kept going, and he's like, come on, man, I'm just, I'm out here trying to have fun. And I was like, what are you doing in here, man? What are you, like, what do you play for Sydney Kings or something?
He said, did you play for Sydney Kings?
He goes to me, this is what he said to me.
They're the worst lurkers, bro.
That's what he said to me. He goes, Sydney Kings, and he
Fuck
starts
me
laughing.
dead. Wait, bro, you gotta write that shit down.
Starts laughing.
That's a fucking soundbite.
Starts laughing at me, and he's like, yo, I could buy the Sydney Kings. And I was like, I didn't say the N-word, but in my head, I was like,
You're like,
whatever.
what is that?
Whatever.
Face.
Sure you can.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, see this ring? That's like a Ferrari. They're on this chain. Chain costs $100,000. Like, whatever, bro.
You know, this
I
is
couldn't
mad
blame
though that you're
myself.
still having this fucking conversation with this man.
And I was like, he's like, yeah, man, it's a Ferrari. I was like, cool, buy me a Ferrari then, smart ass. So big, almighty, talking all that shit. I'm in his face, too. He's tall. I'm like, buy me. Imagine this little chubby guy and a really tall guy. He's about this tall. I'm like, buy me a Ferrari then, smart ass. Like, and I'm like pointing in his, I'm like gunning point in his face. Like, you ain't nothing, bro. You're nothing. Like, don't come up in here trying to act tough. You ain't nothing. He's like, I could make you famous. And then I had my boy Tim, DJ Shifty, with me. He was the one that booked out. I just grabbed it. I was like, this fool trying to say he's gonna make me famous.
You know what the funny thing is?
I was on some other shit.
But you got legs though, because like you are actually one of the best in the world. So like you sort of got like I am like in my field, bro. If you don't know who I am in my field, then like shut the fuck up. You can actually say that. So you got cred.
I was in his face telling him, shut the fuck up. I'm already famous, bro. I'm worldwide, son. And I was like, because he was, and I don't really talk like that. Don't think I talk like that. But because he was
coming at you like that,
flexing, I was like being a smart ass. Like, he's going to make me famous. Ah. And I was like, who are you, bro? And then he'd show me his phone again. Ben Simmons. And I was like, he's like, this is me. I'm like, who are you? I don't know who you are.
I asked you if you play for the Kings.
And then I got to tell, I was like, do you know this lanky fool? And he's like, yeah, man, it's Ben Simmons. I was like, who is Ben Simmons? Like, he's like NBA All-Star of the year, bro. Rookie of the year. It's like
controversial Rookie of the Year. Shout out to Ben Simmons. But we all know it was Donovan Mitchell. Thank you very much. But anyway.
I don't know who it was. I was like, cool, man. Buy me a Ferrari then. I know that's my story.
So did he give you the Ferrari?
No.
Fuck Ben Simmons.
And then he sat there. And then he's like, yo. And he pulled up. He had one of those girls, Kardashian girls, Jenner.
Oh, because was he dating him at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had her on FaceTime. And he's like, yo, man, look. And I was like, hey, that's
old mate.
That's old mate.
That's old mate.
Kylie Jenner,
that's one of the arse sisters.
Katie, I don't know. I don't know. One of them Kardashian girls.
That's one of the mini Kims.
The ones that, the mini Kims.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Bro, you ever seen the before and after photos of those chicks? Crazy.
Yeah, so that was, but I always put myself in
predicaments.
In those predicaments. Yeah, I just kind of, and that's happened quite a few times where.
I'm here for it.
I've told big name artists. I'm like,
You look at me in the eye, bro. You're making me feel uncomfortable about
and
it.
I'm like, so what do you do? And it's like,
I like to rap sometimes. Please, Mr. DJ, play my song. Oh, fuck it. I'm shutting it down.
Yeah.
Threestyle. What, bitch?
I told Pink, I was like, so who are you? No shit.
Was she cool with it?
So she explained, she said, oh, I'm a singer from America. I was like, oh.
Oh, that Pink. All right.
And I realized I had, yeah, happens to me all the time because I don't know, I'm not really, I don't know, I just don't.
No, I know.
It's weird.
You don't need to explain, but I'm going to ask this next question.
Yeah. Yeah, we went off track.
Fuck it, man. This is what's about. So, one thing I noticed, right? A lot of DJs are pretty robotical about their shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're sort of like, they try to be cookie cutter, like, you know, yeah, get comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
right?
what happens when you're fat.
Man, no, you're just stocky.
I'm quarantine fat.
You ever seen those, no, the big men, you know, like the strong men? They're not really fat, they're just like, but they look fat.
Thick.
But but they'll fucking...
I'm thick.
All right, we'll leave it at... We'll leave it. We'll let people make their introduction. But, like, a lot of people are real robotical with it, but, like, you're, like, sort of fluid with it. Like, what's giving you that just... I think, like, maybe that confidence for that just sense of, like, I don't know, like, your, you know, individualism, you know? You've always had your style on it, your flavor. I actually read... I read an Eric Clapton book, right? And there was this one part of it where he sort of says how he doesn't feel like when people were shouting out like, yo, this guy's the king, like he didn't feel like he was, because he felt like he was everybody's styles put together. So he felt like he was just a rip-off of everyone. But I feel for you, on the other hand, your uniqueness has always been there. And like you have, it feels like it even from what we've talked about, like from the start, you've pretty much taken everybody's little bits, but you've gone home, you've studied it, but then you've pumped it up to make it yours.
Yeah.
You know, like, so how do you keep that and still fucking get work and still tell people to go fuck themselves and tell Ben Simmons, like, who the fuck is this bitch? Like,
No, I don't know. I have a genuine passion for it. So remember what I was saying, you either live here or you live here.
Yeah,
I live
true.
in the middle. You know,
Yeah.
and I hover in the middle. So I've always enjoyed it. That's why, like, if you ask anyone, like, when they see me DJing, I'm dancing, I'm jumping all over the stage, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like a workout for me. It's
Yeah.
not working. But it's
not working.
It's not working.
Still
But
trying to work that out.
after every gig, I am literally covered in sweat. My shirt is drenched because I'm like,
you know what you should wear?
I'm all
A Ben
over.
Simmons basketball jersey. Yeah, but anyway, so you're into it.
I enjoy it. Like, I am actually passionate about it. And that's why I can see, like what you said, cookie cutter. I can see the ones who are not passionate. And I know when they're not going to last. So I have this
What do you do with it? Sorry to say, but like, do you ever see him and be like, yo, like, I see this guy is really like this, but I see him trying to be like something that I know he's not. Do you ever like reach out to those guys and be like, yo, man, like, fucking pull him under your wing a bit, or?
No, I
Or is it
mean,
hard?
I took Echo under my wing,
And then I took him.
and then, and then he did the DMCs and the ITFs, and he
got up, bro.
did
Like,
well
he got
at
like
that. Yeah,
top.
did
I think he won
his-
one.
He won New South Wales
That's right.
DMC and ITF, I think, under
But you weren't allowed by
under
then.
my reign. No, I was, but I took a step back.
That's what I was gonna say.
I was doing Blazing
Yeah,
and
I remember you were.
I was doing the CDs and that.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Blazing as well. But anyway.
But yeah, there's a few guys that I have along the way helped and looked after, but you can see they're passionate about it. You can sense it in their aura and the way they present themselves as DJs. You know what I mean? And the others, I know every DJ that's out there right now.
Straight
I know the
up.
ones that are going to last, and the ones that are going to go.
So you heard it here first, guys. If you want to know you're going to last, it up
Yeah.
Sam Right. Because I tell you, he's got no problem telling you he ain't going to last.
No problem. So there's this thing where I have this, and I tell DJs, there's a merry-go-round, right?
Mm.
So every DJ gets to ride the merry-go-round, right? And like a merry-go-round, you do up, and it goes around, up and down.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll notice when there's DJs on the merry-go-round. There'll be the DJs that go, Wednesday I'm playing here, Thursday I'm playing here, Friday I'm here, Saturday I'm here.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they're on that merry-go-round. But then what happens is the next guys have to
Jump on.
jump on.
Yeah.
If you don't capitalize when it's your turn,
Yeah.
when it's your turn to get off, you're out. And I've seen so many DJs come.
Well, then how the fuck are
and
you
go.
still relevant?
I
bud?
capitalized.
Yeah, but
And
the-
it's different because I control the merry-go-round.
You said that. Yo, bitches,
like-
enjoy your ride, motherfuckers. I'm passing the keys.
Nah, but
Bro,
that's
that's
the thing.
hectic.
But it's 100%. When you'll notice it now, and every DJ out there will notice it. And people,
It's same as
People
MCs though,
watching,
bro.
yeah.
Like, I'm still doing this shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, like, at the end of the day,
you capitalized.
capitalize,
You
you
did your
roll,
thing.
but you do. You see people even to this day, you'll be like, yo, like, you're either an MC and you're in it,
Yeah.
and it's here, and you're in between here and here, like, you know, you're like here. But if you're too much up here, bro, yeah, you won't last because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, bro, your mind will get the better of you. You know what I mean?
And
So
that's the
same
thing.
shit.
I see these guys, and yeah, every promoter's booking you because you're the fresh guy. You're on the thing. But when you get, it's your turn to get off. That means you're not out of the game. You're still going to be actively DJing, but you're not going to get the same amount of clout.
Yeah,
You're not going to be everywhere. Then
Not
it's
gonna
going to
be in the
start to
mix as
slow
much.
down.
Yeah.
You're not in the mix as much. So if you don't do a lot while it's your time,
Yep.
yeah. And then I notice when I'm on it, when I get back on. Like,
Because you run the ride, you just fucking.
I get to
just
go
jump
again.
straight
I
back.
get to jump back on. There's a few guys that get to jump back on. Nino gets to jump on.
Yeah, Nino. Yeah, we know
let
Nino's in
Nino
there.
go on all the time. But and that's why it's kind of, that's why I laugh at those ones that are like, your skills don't matter, and you know they only want to book the cheap DJs. Man,
Fuck these guys. Your skills don't matter. Eat a bag of dicks.
I've always charged a lot. I've always relied on skills, and I still get booked more, and I still travel more worldwide than anyone. It's not got anything to do with the pricing or the thing. It's here and here mixed together.
Yeah,
But
bro.
when it's your time to be on, you need to do something. And when I started, mind you, when I started DJing, I had to go up against Monro, Nino, and Peter Guns.
The gods.
They would, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, why would the promoter want to book me if I'm not bringing something more to the table? The promoters don't give a shit about the price because these guys are charging. It's not going to be like, oh, if I charge peanuts, they're going to put me on. The promoters didn't care back then. Promoters like, no, we want the best DJs, and we're going to have the best DJs. So my mentality was like, sure, I need to be better than these guys. How do you be better than these guys?
Do you
So
think
then-
you're lucky though, like in a way that you came up in that time? Because then by the time it got to, you know, whoever had the most little Facebook following or Instagram following that could get like the early entries, and you know, and they'd fucking DJ for peanuts. And because it started making DJs job hard to book a gig, because like if they didn't have, I suppose, a degree of notoriety of skill or weren't as established as people like yourself, Nino, you know, Peter Guns, Tickles, whatever, they'd be like, nah, man, sorry, because fucking old mate, I can put on that 9 to 10 or 10 to 11 slot,
Yeah.
and they've got 50 cunts at the door for me. I can't, and like that's more in my pocket, and I charge them less. So it was hard for a promoter then to justify, you know, like.
Yeah,
Are you lucky you came up in that time then, or do you think that these guys maybe should have worked harder at like preserving the craft?
I had this conversation with a club. There was a Asian club that was at that point.
Name the club. Zaya. Wait. No. Martin Plague's bar.
Yeah.
Yeah? No, there wasn't heaps of them.
So I remember having a meeting and they were like, look, we want to put you on all the time, but you charge so much more than our other guys, right? So we want to put these guys on.
I know those other guys, man.
And I was like, cool. No, okay, that's fine.
Shout out to the other
That's
guys.
fine. I'm never mad. You can't be mad at. You can't walk into a Ferrari dealership and go, oh, what's this?
Ben Simmons Ferrari
and
dealership.
go, oh man, but I could get a Mazda for this much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't get mad. So, and the Ferrari dealership guy can't be mad. He can't be like, oh. If you want to go, when you're ready to get this and reap the rewards of getting this, then cool. But if you're happy in the Mazda, then cool. Like,
yeah, that's cool too.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm always cool with that. But my thing was like, I told him like, look, I get it. If I charge this much more than the other guys, I get that. The difference is you're going to pay less for these guys. And what's going to happen is there's people going to come to the club. They're going to hear this DJ, and then they're not going to come back the next week.
Straight up.
And they're going to tell their friends, it wasn't.
And that's why when you say Sifu was skilled, bro, he kept people at the club, bro.
Kept people at the club.
For like years.
Yeah. Okay, so you pay the extra, but the thing is instead of those people not coming back next week, they come back next week and every week that I'm here, and they tell their friends.
Yeah.
Come. You got to come. The music is...
hectic.
Is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if anything, you gain more. Okay,
Straight
but you're
up.
looking for the small score. You need to look at the bigger picture. And some did. Some did, and some don't. But even now, to this day, I still get the promoters that are like, man, I wish we could put you on every week.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, but again, I don't want to be on every week.
And you're also like, that's
I don't
all
wanna
right.
be
You're paying me in
stuck.
1 week. You're paying me in 1 week. What I get, the other guys getting paid for 4.
But
So
it's
all G.
not even for that. Like, because I don't want to sound like, oh man, I don't want to be on that level. On that money.
It's not about that, bro.
My thing is, I don't want to be at the same club.
Well, you said that
every
before.
week.
You want to
It's
be
in-
around doing
yeah.
shit fresh.
Because all these DJs, I find that funny when these DJs are like, because there's been quite a few. They're like, yeah, man, I killed it, man. I killed it. Yeah, I'm killing it. So you at the same club every week, like. If you can't, like, and the thing is I hate that. I hate when, and that's when I get like, where I don't mess with DJs when they come to me
or
on
that
some-
mentality.
That mentality.
Yeah, yeah.
When they're like, yeah, man, I smashed it. This your job.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you better be fucking smashing it, otherwise you are not the resident guy.
What are you doing? Like,
Bro.
there's like, what's the point? That's your job, is to smash it. Like, you don't hire a plumber to fix the pipe and go and turn around when they finish and go, yeah man,
Smash that.
put that pipe on correctly.
your toilet.
Like,
Look at
that's
that.
your job, man.
Functionality.
You don't praise the guy. You're like, yeah, be like, that's your job, bro. What are you talking about? And
Listen. Okay, go.
then it was the thing of, if you play to the same crowd every week, and you don't, like, of course you're gonna smash it. You know what time they show up to the club. You know what they probably go and eat after.
Especially
like,
if
you
they're
know
playing, like-
everyone personally.
Yeah, Tattersalls, Penrith.
Like, you walk in and they say hello and you know their name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not skills.
It's like an episode of Cheers.
Hey,
When
Jenny,
everybody knows
you want to hear
what's
Usher again? Hey, Mike.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
I got you. Yeah. I'm a play Travis Scott. I got you.
Hey.
Like, of course you're gonna smash it. You know everybody in the club.
And yeah, before every song, yo, this one goes out to
You know what?
Katie over there at the
Yeah.
bar.
That's the thing. Those DJs do not impress me. The DJ that impresses me is when we're all sitting down having a conversation like, yeah, man, I went to Bumfuckville for the first time in the middle of nowhere to this club, and I played and I killed it. Like, cool. Like, that's impressive because you don't know that crowd. It's in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, you have You got nothing. You got no information.
Shout out to Darwin.
You don't, like, that's
Bro,
impressive.
DJ's got hit. When DJ, you got to be. You're right though, Red. When I said DJ, we're like, yo, we hit up Darwin. I'll be like, yo, respect.
Yeah, man.
'Cause,
Darwin
like,
do that.
you gotta fucking when you're fucking rocking Darwin, like you are on a level, or Alice Springs or some like wild shit.
That's
But
yeah,
straight
it's how
up,
you
right?
play.
All right.
But that's the mentality of where I came in, and that's where the impressive part was if I had a gig and I'd ask the promoter, so what do you want me to play? Huh? What? It's like I have to figure this out on the spot.
Yeah, bro.
So then I had to learn that, like, okay, I need to figure that out on the spot, and it's going to keep me active. It's going to keep me sparking, like, how can I switch? What happens when something goes wrong? How do I get out of this? How do I go a different way?
It's always so wild. Esky will vouch for this. You know, he performs live as well. But DJ shit, like mixes and fucking Serato and fucking like where you rock up to a gig and the fucking DJ shit just goes out. And it's like the fucking plugs were all there. I didn't change anything. It's like the plugs change themselves. Like, so shit goes wrong all the time with DJs.
Man,
like,
it goes, and I learned lessons real quick. I remember I went to a gig out in Penrith, and it was
shout out to Pentatosals.
it was Nino. I went with Nino.
Oh,
I went with Nino. That's when Nino was taking me around, and DJ Norms. I met him that night, and he was playing after Nino, right? Norms was like, I'm standing here, I'm watching Nino and the crowd's there, and Norms is standing right next to me, and he was sweating bricks, and I'm like, and I could
play after
like,
Nino,
and I'm like, bro, you'll be all right, like, man. At that point, I was still on my battle mindset. I was like, man, Nino ain't shit. Like, I was trying to help him out, even though Nino was killing it. I was like, come on, man, you got this, bro. You got this. And he's
bro,
like...
Nino's got that aura, bro. Nino's got that, like, fucking just...
Yeah, he's staunch. He's got that, he's got that.
Yeah, but not even, like, he doesn't even have to, like, he doesn't even have to say anything. He just look at you like...
He got that thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So Norm's is freaking out. Yep. And I'm like, come on, man. You know what you're doing. You got this, bro. And he turns to me, he's like, nah. He's played every record that I brought. And I was like...
Yo, but this is when you still had to bring your records. Oh,
that's when we had records. Nino
I used to take Nino's shit into the club.
Nino played every record. Norms had only packed this bag of about 50 records, and Nino had played every one of them. And I was like...
Damn.
Yo, what do you...
How far was Serato off?
That was a lesson for me. For me, it was like, I don't want to ever be in this position.
So how do you pack for that?
That's why you gotta pack. You gotta pack random, man. You gotta be prepared.
Pack the Elvis Presley.
You can't bring 50 records. That's when I was bringing like 3 or 4 crates of records. Yeah, man. You had a trolley and everything,
bro.
Man.
That's when you know it's a challenge. Be like, yo, this motherfucker just pulled up with 2 fucking cases. God
and that's
damn.
the thing, because what happens if Monro comes and plays everything, or Nino comes and plays all the songs, and you're in trouble. And he was in trouble. I was like, yo, man, I can't.
Shout out to Norms. Learn a lesson
Shout out
that day.
to Norms.
Learn a lesson for all of us that day. Well, not really now because it's fucking Serato. You can have whatever the fuck you want on your laptop, and then you fucking have your remixes and the remixes of the remixes. Fuck all that. But listen.
You had to learn the lessons, man. So many lessons. I learned how to control crowds from DJ Billy. Lil B.
Lil B?
Yeah, remember Lil B?
He's still a suave little
I used to rock up to the club, and he'd be like, I'd play, and he'd play after me. And he'd be like, watch me shut this club down in 5 minutes. Like, what? He's like, yeah, I'll end the club. I'll end the club right now. It's like, what? Cool. You play what you play. Tupac. Bang, fight, done. Club done. I was like...
Pay me my hour,
like, what? What just happened? What just happened,
NEW Joes when many murders occurs. And
that's when I realized, like...
Was that hit him up?
Yeah, he'd play hit him up. And he'd do it. He'd just do it on purpose. He'd still get paid.
Hour and a half. All right. But I've still got a couple questions. So wait. Putting Blazing together after Nick Toth, because Nick Toth did the first one. So shout out to Nick Toth, and then you came in. So like, talk about that, man, because that was a different time. Like that's when we all started to get a bit of like TV time, a little bit of
We were getting money.
money time, you know, baby.
We were getting paid.
How many did you do?
Four.
How did that help? 4 blazons.
2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But how did that boost your profile as a because obviously you're a commercial DJ now. Your fucking face is on a disc.
Man, my face was on TV.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
They'd have Wheel of Fortune, and my parents were watching Wheel of Fortune, and then
Is that when you made it to them?
when I heard them screaming, Sammy, you're on TV. What? And I come running out and it's like, blazing.
Yo, and that's like fucking
Prime time.
prime time, baby.
Prime time.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, man. And they put that on the TV, I'd be like,
Is that when you felt like you started to get to other like spots that you hadn't been able to play? And who was booking you then?
doors opened up then. Nah, we were booking ourselves. Label was helping. Label was helping with some, and then Nino was, man. Props to Nino, bro. He was on it. He was really pushing my tour forward, connecting me, and I had my connection. But yeah, it was always Nino's baby. You know what I mean? Like Blazing was always Nino's thing.
Straight up. Yeah.
From the start, it was meant to be just Nino, but I think they wanted another DJ, so they brought in Nick Toff, and then when Nick couldn't do it, I stepped in and did it. But it was always Nino's thing, and it was mad for him on his profile. So
Why did Nick dip? Or, like, I mean, because it was fucking...
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I was still young back then.
Yeah, you were very young.
I just came out of. I just came off the DMC run.
Yeah.
It was 2002. I was like, and every year I wanted to do something different. I was like, I have a goal. I remember when I was doing DMC 2002, I was like, next year, I don't know, I want to do something different. I don't want to do comps anymore.
And remember,
and
the
I asked the world,
had all just got fucked up because of all the shit that went down with the
and
copyright
everything went
shit.
down. Yeah, I watched that whole thing.
Yeah, you
where
would have
the
watched that whole thing.
boys went down, and DJ G Wizard was throwing his CDs in the ocean, and it was a whole thing. I don't know. I heard all these. I heard all these stories.
G-Wizard was throwing the cities, bro.
I don't know. I heard
shout
these.
to DJ Ace, G Wizard.
Yeah, they all threw their CDs in the river or some Parramatta
Man,
River.
I used to go to Organised Noise. I just saw Rodney Prasad the other day. But Pacheco, man, I remember when that whole shit went down, bro. It was like, all right, boys, shut up shop. Like, everything. Man, the first Fit Kid CD ever was in Organised Noise, bro.
But I kind of foresaw it happening. Because I remember, like, they were doing the CDs, and this was way before Blazing. I'm still interning in Anthems at that time.
Yeah.
And I remember they had 3D World every week. Remember 3D World?
Fucking earth.
And I remember the CDs weren't, like, legit.
Yeah, but you didn't know
They're
to what
saying-
extent that meant.
To extent what? I was
Yeah.
like, I know this is not legal. I get it.
Yeah.
But we're doing it anyway. Right? That's a game. And then I remember they were selling them at the markets, and I was like, okay. So we're selling them at the markets, doing all that. 3D World, when I saw full page spread of Motto's mixtape, Peter Gunn's mixtape, like a full advertisement, I was like, yo, this is, y'all taking the piss now. Like, this is.
They were raking the money. That shit was that $30 a pop or $25 a pop? Those cities were not cheap, bro. I found it still like, it's so crazy because like they were the bootleggers, but I had a bootleg of the bootleg CD.
Yeah.
Because people were still like
They
buying
were
the
bootlegger,
CD
yeah.
and then ripping the shit out of it on their PC and it's like flinging them around to the homies.
Like, I looked at it like, it's cool for all these DJs to sit in the crowd at a bullfighting event, but when you jump in the pit and go, like, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
get
yeah.
hit. You can't put yourself out there like that and expect
Crazy.
not to get hit. It doesn't work
100%.
that way. Like,
Nah, man, it was crazy. So I mean, so
and they
when
got hit.
you got
They got a big hit. Like that bull. Oh,
that bullhorn went
smashed.
so far up
But
their
that's the thing.
ass.
They should have just played safe. They said,
I know, they should have just flung them out. Yo, guys, $20 at the booth. I got a couple
you
of
should have been
CDs.
quiet. You keep it in the markets.
Come again.
Keep it at Anthem Rank.
Keep it down to Glebe Markets.
I was like, yo, you guys gonna go on the Sydney Telegraph and put like new mix CD
Nah,
out?
man,
or
they were
something?
looking to buy the Kings, baby. Like Ben Simmons.
And mind you got to remember. See, this was the funny part. 3D World, because there was record stores back then.
I fucking know.
So Sony was still
Soul City.
Universal,
Soul
Sony, Virgin Records.
They're still watching that.
They were in 3D World advertising their shit. You know, someone at Sony's gonna be like, so where's our ad in 3D? What's this DJ Modern mixtape with all our artists on it? Like, what? We didn't co-sign this.
Just dangling shit in front of me like,
That's what I'm saying. You
yeah.
didn't jump in front of the bull and be like, come on,
man.
come on, come on.
Too
Like,
much, bro.
so that was a funny era, man. That was mad era.
Tell me this. You started production, which is like not every DJ does.
I started production 20 years ago and just, it's an eye roll.
Why? What?
I don't know. I just never.
But you're good at producing. What
I
the
know. I know. I'm so good. No,
fuck? Nah, but like what? Like is that not?
I
That's
should've
still
did
not your
it.
passion. Like
production was always this thing I wanted to do, and I was involved, and I was ghosting some stuff. I was jumping on people's records. I was somewhat had my foot in the door, you know. But DJing just kept, like another mix, another competition, another. It just kind of kept me pulling back. But then it was only until like I think started 2019. I was like, all right, I built this studio. I was like, you know what? In 1 year's time, I'm going to put out songs. Like I'm going to learn how to produce. I'm going to learn how to produce whatever style I want.
Yep.
And I'm going to put out music. 2020, I'm putting out music. I'm not letting DJing cut me in. Hold me back. So I told agency and that, I was like, look, just, chill with the bookings, chill with the content, I'm not going to put myself out there. And to be a DJ in this day and era and to tell your manager and agent, stop getting me gigs. Like, I was at that point. I was like, don't book me. I want to concentrate on this.
It's a bit of like a kick in the not a kick in the face, but like they'll be like, yo, but like this is your job. Like
it's your job. So I was willing to take the financial hit just to put myself in a position of knowledge and to level up.
Yeah.
And now I'm at a point where someone like yourself can send me an acapella.
Yeah.
And 2 days later.
Yeah, the fucking beat's back. You got it. Me like, oh
Got you,
shit,
bro.
you're working like that, samurai.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll
Get you back the proper vocals. Sorry, sir.
I work like that. But I enjoy the process of it because now I'm really in it. And 2020 I was meant to start dropping, and then this whole thing happened. And it's like, yeah, okay. Now, do I drop?
But you've got stuff in the pipeline now.
Oh,
Like,
man, I got so many songs
I'm coming to your house.
ready to
I'm
go.
gonna be listening to all this shit.
Okay.
Fuck you all because he's my mate.
So many
I'll be listening
songs.
to it first, baby.
So many songs.
Have you got any credits now?
Credits?
Yeah, like as in,
people,
like
international
any
credits?
like any writing, like any writing or production credits that you'd be like, yo, that's a big enough credit for you to be like, or are you really waiting for your stuff to roll out now?
I'm at my point now. I think I came into production at a good stage. I've always felt like everything I've done in life has come at a good point. Like I said, I ended the DMC. I wanted to do something different. Universal came knocking. It's like, great. After that, I was like, I want to do something different. Nova came knocking to the door. Channel V came knocking to the door.
With fucking Sean.
Yeah. And then I had my own show on Channel V with Maya. So every time, like...
Shout out to Maya.
Every time I've said I wanted to do something, it's happened. I said I wanted to do Redbull, and then I ended up doing Redbull. I said I wanted to do Goldies, Ended up doing I didn't know I was going to take top ranking in the world, but I wanted to do those things, and I ended up doing it. So
Fucking crazy,
now
man.
I've come into this position of production where social media is so amazing. Like I can find artists anywhere in the world.
Plus, you got your like connects that you built
I
over
got
the years.
connects
Like
here.
you've sort of got like a little bit of leverage where it's like, yo, like you can reach out to a DJ that's maybe like one step away from someone that you want to mess with. Like,
yeah, well, that kind of worked. It works now because, like, I got you. We did a song. I had Motley. Me and Motley just finished the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just finished another song.
Shout out to fucking
It was
Motley,
some
man.
Crazy shit. And then, I got this my dude in Jamaica, Javada. I got 2 songs with him. My boy Diallo in LA. We got a song coming. It's now I get to reach.
Yep.
And I guess my prediction is I'm going to step my way up until I get to like a Chris Brown or those guys, and
Bro, if you track records, anything to fucking go by.
Maybe go that route, But my prediction now is I wanted to put out music. Now I've got music, so I've reached my goal for 2020. I've got.
You
songs
got it.
ready to
It's
go.
coming. Yeah.
So
Hectic, bro. What about like juggling beats, right? I just want to go back to that because one thing that I notice, and again, it goes back to me watching juggling coming up, and I've sort of noticed it when I watch you. Like it's still quite a big part of your, your set or what you do. Juggling between. And I know you've got triggers and shit there as well, but you still have to be. Your dexterity's got to be hectic, right?
Yeah. So.
Is beat juggling lost, you reckon, like as like an art form, or do you think it's sort of just under the radar?
No. That's a really good question for someone who doesn't know about turntablism.
What the fuck, bro? Like I'm still hip hop. Like I
knows
still
it.
watch shit.
You gotta give him props because this is a conversation between
DJs,
not even DJs, like elite dudes, like the nerd dudes.
Oh, so I'm on my Nardwuar shit.
You got in. So what's happened is, I guess with social media, scratching has become more of a highlight, which is great. It's great for the scene to see like so many DJs putting up scratch videos, scratch. I'll get the little turntable and I'll scratch it. I'll go down to the beach and I'll have a scratch.
Fucking nice sunset scratch.
Yeah, but I feel like then that's taken away from DJs wanting to do juggles. Because juggling is a lot more. See, and this is the argument you have. Juggling is more complicated, but scratching is a lot more complicated. But juggling is it's always been that battle between juggling and scratch DJs. And at the start, when turntablism was kind of first being created, you had the scratch guys and you had the juggle guys, and it wasn't until you found these guys who hovered in the middle, DJ Craze, you know what I mean, like those dudes, P-Trix, and
but the guys that could get it, and the guys
go
that
in the
could
middle,
get it,
they could do both,
but they could get it tight though,
and they get it tight,
like tight as fuck, like you sound like you were just listening to a fucking machine.
they're sounding on point.
So how is it now? Like
now it's gone more routine flip based, like the videos I do.
Yeah.
I started doing those, and then it was only realistically me and Chris Via from LA. We were really the only two that were constantly putting these videos out, and then I noticed the spark of more DJs starting to do videos and routines, which is great, because my angle now is it's not to impress the DJs. I don't care about the DJs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every DJ is going to do their thing. It's great when a DJ is like, yo, man, this is fire. If it inspires them, dope. My thing is, like, how do I reach Common Joe? You know what I mean?
Fucking oath.
Like, how do I get, him or her to be like, wow, I didn't know this was DJing. Like I didn't like. I thought scratching was just jiggy jiggy.
Yeah, you get more of a respect for it.
And I thought DJings were just pressing buttons.
No.
But when they watched like my videos or Chris's videos or Four Color Zach or DJ Headspin, those guys around the world who are doing flips and chain and, you know, I'm gonna take the words from this song because they make sense with the words of this song. And or I'm gonna take the melody of this and change the melody because then the melody sounds like this song.
Yeah,
that's when it's like you get the regular people to be like, oh wow, like that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I want more DJs to do that because then it ultimately pushes out the ones that aren't being creative.
Oh yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that when people go to a club, they're like,
say, yo, get the fuck off the merry-go-round. You're the conductor, bitch.
As I want DJs to be in one end of the sword. It's I want DJs to be more creative.
Yeah.
Because then it boosts us up. But then at the other end of the sword is if every other DJ is being creative, I'm now not the only one being creative. So now I have to compete.
Now there's a couple of fucking merry-go-rounds.
There's a couple.
You got the Easter show merry-go-round. You got.
For me now, it's like, okay, well, I'm the only one really doing that. So I'm going to set myself apart, and I'm still going to remain the Ferrari, and everyone does Mazdas. Rather than have
we're going to be still sitting in my
Ferrari.
And Ben Simmons didn't buy me my Ferrari. Like I bought that shit myself.
I'm still, as again, heart, still DJing. I still want to see DJing prevail.
So speaking of which, right, in the craft,
this
is what I just want to ask because this is part of this little story, right? Like, what happened to that dude that pre-recorded his shit? Okay, so for people that don't know, this Threestyle event, the guy that won it, the guy that won it had pre-recorded his set. And then they bust. How did they find out? Like, come on, because you know the ins and outs of it more than I do. I just remember seeing it, going like, "Yo, I'm not even in this fucking shit," but like, I feel shame for this guy because like, yo, like how dare you, G? Like, because didn't you like you were there, like you were in the finals for that?
Well, I was there, and I remember watching the set, and I was with the other DJs that competed. And something felt off. You know when you
spidey senses.
You know when you illegally download a movie.
I don't know.
Shut the fuck up! Y'all do that shit. Everyone's done that.
No,
Shut up.
I got AVI files out my ass.
But there's those times where the audio is just that little bit off, and you watch it like. Is this what? This ain't weird. Is this something wrong? Is there something wrong with this?
Overdubs on
it's
Japanese
just
movies. That
little bit. It's almost there, but it's not there, and you're like scratching your head for a while until you realize, like, it's not on. So we didn't get that until later on. So we watched it and we were like, and then it wasn't until like the next day and the day after that where. People who filmed it on their phones, because this is social media now, and they were like, yo, man, I watched this video back. This seemed weird, man. Something seems wrong. And then as the days unfolded, it just...
a fucking train wreck.
It was a train wreck, man. It just became this big thing, and I just sat back like...
Damn. What happened to that DJ?
Gone.
Like off the face of broke, because that's like ultimate shame. Like you can't walk in a fucking club anymore. He's DJing now to Penrith Tattersalls.
I don't know. I don't know. He's gone. I don't know. I don't know. Ask some flat earth theory person. They probably know better than anyone else. I don't know where he's gone, bro.
Fuck, he's dead. Anyway.
I remember. No. I did hear a story of he was at a DMC in Melbourne, and Peg? Remember
Pegs? Like obese?
Obese Pegs?
Yeah, Pegs, yeah.
Apparently he choked him out.
Choked you out, the DJ?
That DJ guy.
Pegs choked him out?
Yeah, or one of those obese guys. one of the rappers.
One of them, Bias B or some shit.
Because the thing is like, I think, I don't know if it was something I said, but I said it.
Probably.
Probably. I said in an interview, someone choked this dude out. No, I didn't say that.
Specifically you, Pegs.
Someone in Melbourne choked. Nah. I said in an interview, like, this has never been done in the history of ever.
Yep.
No, like, for turntablism. You get Paris Hiltons, they fake this. So you get your Havana Browns and these fake DJs that do that shit. Calvin
With the other type of titties.
yeah. David Guetta's, they fake their set and all this. You get all that nonsense, right? But in turntablism, that's a no-no. They say you can't do it. It's never been done. So, and we came from the last and only ever person to gain a placing in the world finals was DJ Dexter. He was, my first year of entering, my first year, he was the guy. He was the champion.
Yep.
So that when I got to nationals, he won and I came second.
Yep.
But I just came in. He was on the way out. But he came first in nationals, and he went on to the world finals and came second.
Yeah.
The only Australian to ever gain a place in any competition. So we've now become, oh wow, Australia is.
Look at Australia.
Look at Australia. This guy almost won the whole thing. Then we get to no one's ever taken a title. No one's done nothing, right? Then we get to this dickhead who fakes his whole set.
This dickhead.
And now worldwide, we're looked at like this. So that how our whole credibility is gone now. So I think when I said that, and Melbourne will take their shit.
Melbourne are serious.
They are serious especially about credibility, and props to them.
They're like staunch on it.
And they're staunch. Yeah, they're staunch. One of the reasons why I stepped back from that Australian scene. I was like, you're too much about it. Too much.
Yeah, you're a fun guy.
I'm a fun guy.
Yeah,
I can't do serious.
Yeah.
But
you're the smiling guy.
Yeah.
The fucking always smiling in photos guy. Yeah.
So I think they must have been like, you made us look bad now. This is bad. So whatever they did, good on you. But luckily I didn't.
R.I.P. to that guy.
But then luckily I went that same year to the Worlds and came
That's
third.
right. And you came third. That's right.
So it's kind of.
So you sort of held the flag for us a bit. Yeah. Sick.
Thank you.
All right. So tell me, right? And this is last. And we'll,
such a dick.
This is last, and then we'll bounce, right? But so, where do you think the scene, like, rather, because in me looking from the outside in again, and this is why it's sort of good to talk from this perspective, because I don't know all the DJs like you. I don't know, so like I see you still pretty at the top of your game, right? And if anything, I think you're probably just diversifying your shit. I see you on your Instagram, and I really feel like that you've sort of carved out almost like a bit of an international standard for the videos you put up, the content you put up. So, like, you've done all that, but what I notice is, like, I don't really see another DJ like with the skills. Like, is there one? Like, is there anyone we should be watching out for that's like really sort of fucking cutting it up, like, juggling, flipping, like
the only one I've noticed Sydney wise is like Deepak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know there's like a few other
Spell?
Mid-Soul and
I know Spell's NZ, but he's in Melbourne now.
But Spell's on another level, but he's just
he's
straight turntablism, just weird. Yeah, I think the club stuff.
He's like experimental almost, yeah.
Because you got to remember, man, turntablists and club DJs are two different things. Trying to cross that border is that's where I've succeeded because I've been able to bridge the gap.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like there's either club like a club DJ now, or there's a fucking nothing.
Yeah, you're either club DJ. Yeah, there's no like Well, now it's different because I think like guys like Deepak and DJ Squat from Sydney, they're active in a club and active in comps.
Dope.
So that works. That's what you wanted. That's where it was when I started.
You had to be both.
You had to be both.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you had that. Nino was doing both. If you weren't doing both, you were smashing it. Motto was smashing it. Peter Guns was smashing it.
Yeah.
So you're still going to have that. But it's good to have because there was years where it was just me and Echo.
Yeah.
It was like we were the
Straight
only
up.
ones
Yeah.
that were in the club and actively in the comps.
Yep.
I know Norms kind of came in for a little bit.
Yeah, but Norm's only dipped in the
Yeah.
comp,
But then,
like for 1 or 2 years.
yeah. But for the last 10 years, it's only like been me in there. Doing
It's
the,
just
doing
weird.
The
So
comps
no,
and-
okay. Well then there you go. Fucking shout
This is
out,
weird.
challenge. Ask the conductor if you could jump on the merry-go-round because he fucking needs you. One last question.
Those guys are good. Yeah.
One last question, right? Like, why did you like? I know you were samurai.
Yeah.
Like,
Hated that name.
you did?
Yeah, that's Motto. That's Motto gave me that. Motto knew.
Really?
Yeah, he gave me that name.
So
Shout out
yo,
to DJ
so
Motto.
that's like me and Fit Kid. I fucking hated that name. I did it as a piss
Hated
take.
the name.
So when you, so you changed it to beast mode. When? How many years ago now?
2016, 15, 16.
Did you feel like you could be yourself when you changed your name like that?
Yeah, I was finally like with Samurai. I just struggled. I felt like it was an anchor.
Yeah.
It just never. I never was feeling it. Everyone spelt it wrong. Everyone got
Like
it wrong.
I know to spell it
Yeah.
like wrong, purposefully wrong.
Yeah.
Right. SAMRAI.
SAMRAI. Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone's
there's-
like samurai. Like,
Yeah, and there'd be mad fans. Like, even on your, I think you did that chat.
yeah, it's odd. And,
And
yeah,
like
and the
someone was
homie
like, "Yo, man, the
and he
homie
knows you, yeah.
DJ Samurai." And like, "Yo, man, how you gonna be a
Samurai.
fan and
Yeah,
still
yeah,
can't get it?"
yeah.
And that's I was just like, you know what? I hate this name. It doesn't work. Doesn't suit me. Everyone gets it wrong. Every flyer gets it wrong. It's always a problem. And then I just dealt with it.
Yeah.
But then it was like I started putting up videos and people were just calling me beast mode. Mind you, I'm still samurai.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just kept going, beast mode, beast mode.
I'm
Oh,
fucking
you
going
said
into
that
beast mode right here, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this, man?
Yeah.
Like, say, what, like, okay. And then when I decided to enter comps, my friend was like, if you enter this comp, and because in Australia, you're samurai.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
If you enter this comp and you win, Samurais worldwide, you can escape escape this. You are done.
Who said that to you?
A very close friend of mine. A very close friend.
Do I
of
know?
mine, Sean. Nah, you.
Oh,
Nah.
okay. But that's a good point, though.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, you are tied to this forever." And mind you, you've evolved so much from that. You're not
Fuck, straight
doing.
up.
I don't know what happened. 2015, something changed. I started doing different things. I leveled. It's like if I was playing a video game and I found the secret door and I went from level 20 to level 500.
Yeah, yeah.
Like something, I just leveled up.
Mario, you grab that fucking flute, you grab the flute and you jump 2 or 3 worlds.
Man,
Yeah.
I went through so many levels.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. What?
Now it's time.
Well, now it's time,
Yeah.
which it took so long, and I thought, man,
Is that when you fuck with Soapbox? Is that when Soapbox started coming
that's
in the
when
picture?
Soapbox kind of came to the picture. Everything came
Same.
in. Like
Yeah.
I asked the world, like, you ask the world, and there's those people that do that, like, if you ask the world, then it will.
That's
happen.
true shit, bro.
But
Like, I mean, I hate to be the preacher. I hate to be the preacher about it as well, because sometimes you get those fucking pessimistic motherfuckers that are just like, but bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
While you're whinging about it, I'm over here doing it.
the crazy part I learned was, yeah, if you put it out to the world, you will receive it. The difference
Gotta
is you
work.
don't know when.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
Like-
so if you stop before it's about to happen, then you fucking
Yeah.
you stopped, bro. Not the fact.
Because I've done that it's pretty much my whole career, and there's been times where there's been even like relationships. There's been girls
Bro, we've had conversations.
where 10 years before I was like, yeah, one day I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
It never happens. And then there's that
And
night.
they're like,
and
Sam
yo,
Ray,
man.
he's talking mad shit.
Like,
It's
yo.
over. And you're like,
I was
hi.
like, yeah, I did ask for this, didn't I?
Yeah.
And it's freaky. So you don't know when it's gonna happen, and that's the
That's
the catch.
Yeah.
It happened with Bliss and Esso. You know, they did. People look at Bliss and Esso and go, "Oh yeah, man, they killed it." But I remember Bliss and Esso when I started. That shit took them like 8 years,
Fucking
10
oath,
years
bro.
of
Yeah.
pushing.
Like, bro,
Pushing.
straight up story. I'll tell a couple of people this. When we toured with Cypress Hill,
Yeah,
I saw fucking Bliss and Esso, right? And Tarek, fucking
Yeah.
Ism. Shout out to Ism.
Shout out Ism.
So they pulled up in this Holden Commodore sedan. We put up in Tarago because we were on Sony money. And this is the fucking grind. That's because they still really hadn't like peaked like that, right? They pulled up in a fucking Commodore sedan. I was like, all right. Like it was Tarek's chick that
Yeah.
was there, like that was driving.
Yeah.
So Tarek jumps out of the passenger seat. And then Bliss jumps out of at the back with the fucking two other chicks. I'm like, where the fuck is Esso, right? They open the boot. It's a sedan. It's not like a fucking station wagon. They open the boot and Esso steps out with a VB. He's like, let's go.
Yeah, I did that
It was
shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, like they did, and they fucking hustled. And
They
you know
hustled.
what? Speaking of which, shout out to Bliss and Esso because... You know how you were saying, like, yo, you know what impresses me? When someone does a show in Bumfuck, Idaho and rocked it.
And rocks it.
That was Bliss and Esso.
Yeah,
bro.
they rock that shit.
Straight
But
up.
That's the thing. If you ask for something, you got to be prepared to wait. You're not going to get it straight away.
No,
like,
sir.
It could take 50 years, you might get it.
But if your heart's in it, though,
If your heart's in it, you're gonna want it anyway. So.
fucking amen, man. And look, on that note, bro, thank you so much for coming down.
My man.
Killing it. Dope. Man, shout out to anyone that fucking actually stayed tuned. Big shout out to Open Source. We're going to have this stuff up live. We'll see if we can do more content. Make sure that you're telling everybody about it. We're going to have some dope motherfuckers on here, like the fucking legend that is Beast Mode, a.k.a. Samurai, a.k.a. always fucking grinning in photos.
Hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah, fuck, tell them.
Beast Mode killed it.
Beast Mode killed it.
So at Beast Mode killed it. And
At
that's on-
Beast Mode, yeah, fucking 100%.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
else,
yeah.
though? Anything massive upcoming, or are we just waiting for COVID
Nah,
to
just
fucking
go,
run down?
go
We'll
just wait for this to end and get back to life.
strap yourself in.
And the robots
the
will come.
All right, we're out. Peace. Good.